Okay. It's really hard not seeing your faces. I'm trusting that everybody's moving through this and doing really well, and I'm looking forward to hearing your outcomes. But now, in the essence of time, I'm going to hand it to Jimmy to move us through the final stages.
Okay, thank you, Victoria. Elena, could we go to the next slide? Thank you. All right, so what's our 30-30? I think this is a really key piece that how do you keep everybody moving? How do you keep people accountable? So for what's our 30-30 for the short-term action plan, we're basically looking to get into the nitty-gritty of our plan. What are the small steps that we can break up and assign to everybody, or what are the steps that each person would want to be responsible for? So Elena, could we go to the next slide, please? So let's take about maybe about 4 minutes to come up with an action plan where we have to list what specific task each person is going to do and by when. That's the most important thing. That by when are you going to do it, and so who, what, and when. Those are the three pieces. So let's take about 4 minutes for that.
That sounds good. That sounds good. And try and keep it within the next 30 days. So we keep it very, very concrete. Okay, time is going. Thanks. Okay, time's up. Okay, take it away, Jimmy.
Okay. Elena, could we move on to the next slide, please? Okay, so as Victoria said, that we are focusing on the tasks that we want to try and get done in the next 30 days. So once we've listed those tasks, the next important piece of that accountability is that when are we going to meet, how are we going to communicate if we need to in the next 30 days. Everything should be laid out clearly so that way we avoid any opportunity for confusion, and so that you have your next appointment or your next meeting already on the person's calendar, so that way the person feels a sense of accountability that, okay, I have to have this deliverable ready by April 13th, and we're going to be meeting at this place, so it's a tangible meeting and it's not just up in the air. Elena, could we go to the next slide, please? So basically what we want to, again, it's just what we mentioned right now. I'll give you about 3 minutes, and if you can just fill up this sheet and talk about where your follow-up meeting is going to be, the date, time, and the place, and the communication that you're going to use to communicate with each other for the next 30 days. For me, Google Docs works really well because it gives you an update via email when people make changes, so that way so it kind of helps me also stay on top of them that, hey, I haven't seen you post anything, or let me know if you need any help, or 2 weeks to go for our next meeting. So you have to be a little shameless and annoying, especially if you're the team lead. But yeah, so if you could take 3 minutes and just fill this out real quick, then Victoria will wrap it up.
Thank you, Jimmy. Okay, so I trust you've got your next meeting set up, you're ready to go, you've got your action plan. So we're ready to move into the final phase. So Elena, next slide, please. As Jimmy mentioned, nudge, connect, promote relentlessly. I know Jimmy is an expert at this, and he's smiling. He does it very nicely, though. He's a very sweet team leader. Next slide. Please, Elena. So we're not going to have quite enough time to complete this, but I really want to encourage you to do this as a team. What's really helpful about this strategy map you see here is that you have just basically in one place everything that you've got planned, your overarching outcome, your metrics, what your Pathfinder project is, your guideposts, and what your action plan is. And this can be a really great tool for communicating to others and getting the buy-in of others. When we do this with Pathways, we do a giant poster-sized copy of this. So yes, I definitely encourage you to complete this. So that's it. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with us for going over the last 5 minutes. The report out was great to hear. It's great to hear of all of the fabulous work that you're going to be getting underway. And I'm just one final ask. I'm wondering, actually, can we go to the next slide, Elena? I believe my email and Jimmy's email are up there. Definitely feel free to reach out to the two of us. I'm offering up Jimmy. I hope that's okay, Jimmy. Um,
Time.
and ask us any questions that you have. And also, I would love to see your completed packs. So if somebody, the knowledge keeper, I'm sure you have a phone. If you could just snap some shots of each of those pages, that would be really fabulous for us to see, especially since we've not been able to be there with you.
I can do that.
Snapshots of your
handwriting.
not possible to read handwriting.
It's, I will do my best. I will do my best. It can't be any worse than my handwriting. So thank you, everybody. And yeah, please be in touch.